And
Okay.
1 second. All right, we should be live.
All right.
There's always a little delay. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Jenna Zellers, wellness expert, life coach, chiropractor, and I am here tonight as your host for the 21-day Mend Yourself Well Summit. And joining me tonight is this lovely woman, a lovely soul, and a new friend of mine, Miss Bharvi Bhuta. And I'm so excited to introduce her to you. We have just so much to share tonight, and I really think that you'll enjoy this conversation. So Bharvi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Thank you for having me. And I also wanted to say hello to whoever has joined already.
Yes.
Thank you for being
here. 4 people joining us already.
Hey.
And you know, Bharvi, I think, and I just told you this, but I just want to share it real fast for everyone to see. You have an amazing support network.
I do.
So the only way anyone can see this interview right now is they have to come join us in the closed Facebook group. And all day long, I have been approving your friends and family. Like I ask everybody, how did you hear about us? And it was Bharvi. And God, that's got to feel so good to have all these people watching you.
It is amazing. And I love everybody, whoever I contacted, and everybody was so supportive and very, very, they wanted to be there for me, and they were so proud of me. And I hadn't even done this interview, and I felt like, oh my God, these people are so nice and lovely support I had. Thank you. Yes, thank you for mentioning that.
So I want to give everyone just a little bit of background about how we met. We met, it was the August meeting for National Speakers Association at the Dallas chapter. And I saw you right when I came in, and I was like, gosh, she seems so amazing. And I saw you and you looked so elegant and so professional. It was my first time there, and I didn't know that it was also your first time too, but I saw you and I was like, I bet she has been here for a long time. Like, I bet she is like, you know, so much more experience than me. You know, those stories that always go in the back of your head. And then at the end of the day, like on our way out, you and I bumped into each other and connected. And it was just immediate connection. And
yes,
I'm going to explain why that happened. But at that time, you said that you were an aspiring speaker.
Yes.
And I was like, well, to me, that's a speaker. Like, if you have the desire to speak, then you have a story to share. And I was like, come be my podcast guest. Like, I was going to do my podcast. And then I created this 21-day summit. And here we are. We're doing this. And this is your first time to really speak on a kind of a big level. So tell us how you manifested that using the power of your subconscious mind.
I am going to tell you the whole story. So it started back from 2011, or say 2010, when my very dear school friend Tejashree gifted me this book, and it is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And since that day, this book has become my Bible. I follow it to the T, and there's so much inside this book, and it actually transformed my life from this to this. Wow. And I keep thanking Tejashree every time I meet her or I speak to her. I said, look what you got me, where you've gotten me. It wouldn't have been possible without you gifting me this book. So after I read this book in 2010 and started utilizing and implementing the principles, I said, I want to spread this message. I want to become a motivational speaker. Back in 2010, a little later after I started reading this book. And the first thing, the utmost requirement of being a motivational speaker is public speaking. But public speaking was not my cup of tea. So here I am thinking I want to become a motivational speaker. And the thought of public speaking was petrifying for me. In the past, I have failed a college seminar presentation only and only because I was scared of public speaking. I got a 0. That was the first time I failed in my life. It was so embarrassing for me. And at that time I said, no, this is not how it should be. And then in between 2009 and 2010, there came a time when I experienced that embarrassment again. And at that time I said, no, I have to do something about it. So a little later, my another dear friend, Jyoti, she is a Toastmaster. You've been a Toastmaster, I'm a Toastmaster, but back then she was used to be a Toastmaster. And she said, why don't you join Toastmasters? That's what you need. And that's what is going to get you where you want to be and get rid of this fear. And slowly,
Bharvi, can you explain what Toastmasters is for anyone?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So so Toastmasters is a club. It is an international organization and has a lot of clubs everywhere, all over the world, where people like me go to practice public speaking. It is a self-taught thing. We learn from watching each other, and there is a program, there are manuals and objectives given to you, and then you prepare a speech to satisfy those objectives, and then you present it in front of your club members. So that's how, one by one, every step at a time, you learn, gain more confidence, and grow. 5 years down now, today, I'm here. And remember the time we met in August? That was because my dear friend Nancy, she is also a Toastmaster, one of my club members, and she brought me to this meeting because I had expressed my interest of becoming a speaker someday. And she said, you got to. I said, how is NSA? She's a member of NSA, the National Speakers Association, and she loves it. I have known her for quite some time, and I know that she's been a member of NSA. I said, Nancy, do you think it is for me? She's like, absolutely, Bharvi, you should join. And one thing led to another, and there we were the day you and I met. Now, let me tell you something extra. You know, you are a part of my becoming a motivational speaker. Do you think it was a coincidence that you and I met? No. Everything happens for a reason. My meeting you, say you were present in the August meeting, but you couldn't be present in the September meeting. Mm-hmm. There was a chance that you could have come to September meeting and I may not have come in, so we would have not met, or vice versa, either way. But we were there on the same table, same time, first time for you, first time for me. And I had the same exact thoughts about you. This woman looks ravishing. I need to talk to her. And I step out and we both make an eye contact. Yes, and like, hey, are you a first timer also? And you invite me to be a guest on your podcast. And you saw me jumping up and down, didn't you? And I spoke to 3 other people right there. I said, Jenna invited me to become her podcast guest. So
what's funny is I didn't even know what you wanted to talk about. Like,
yeah.
I was attracted to your spirit. And it was just like something in my gut said, I've got to invite her to speak with me because I love speaking and I can tell she wants to do it. Like, she just needs a platform. And it's just like, I was drawn to you.
Yes.
So yeah,
so you are instrumental, just like how Tejashree and my friend Jyoti and Nancy are. You are equally instrumental in my becoming a motivational speaker. So this is how the power of subconscious mind works. I've already seen myself speaking in front of a large audience. Okay, now, because I've seen myself doing that, in my mental image, that has already happened because I've seen it happening today, right now. And I've felt the joy as if I'm already speaking in front of people. Now, for the universe or my subconscious to make my dream come true is putting in all these stepstones for me, starting from my friend Jyoti, from Nancy, and you. And I know there will be more friends and family or somebody who I will meet, just like I met you. And it will make sure that I get there. I will be on that stage one day. And like you said, I'm not an aspiring speaker. I was thinking to myself, hey, I'm the power of subconscious mind speaker. I should know better than that, than saying I'm an aspiring speaker. I should say I'm a speaker already. Yeah, and that made me feel like, okay, Jenna knows more about power of subconscious mind.
So what happens is we're our biggest critic. Like, we are able to teach these practices and principles to other people because we get it, but we're still like, we have bad programming from, not before you knew about the power of the subconscious mind. You had different programs. So you're still like remembering to operate on all of those programs that you're learning and introducing. And that's why like repetition and practice and accountability and coaching, like all of that ties in so well. And what you brought up is a very good point that I talk to a lot with my life coaching clients. It's like, we have this really big dream on our hearts. Like, I meet so many women that have like a really, really big dream on their heart. But with the path that they're walking right now, they have no idea how that's going to happen. So they almost like talk themselves out of it. Like, that's too big of a dream, or I'm not meant for it, or I don't deserve it because it's so big, and they don't think that they're capable for it.
Yes.
The thing is like, that dream is not an accident. That dream is supposed to be there. But the steps, like, you have a dream, you see yourself talking on stage. I do the same thing. I see myself talking on big stages. And it's this, like, to get there is where all the personal growth and develop happens. It's in the attaining that dream. It's like, here we are, we're just spreading a message to help everybody listening of how to be better in this area, in this area, in this area. The Mend Yourself Well message is so that you can live your life, you could live your purpose, you could reach your dreams, and you could be the very best that you can be. Because if you're not the very best that you can be, you're never going to get to those very big dreams. So it's
Correct.
like the process.
It is.
The power of the subconscious mind is a huge element in that process. So why don't you dive a little deeper and tell us about the science. Tell us about the meat and potatoes of what you discovered in that book.
Sure. So basically, I'm going to go through just main points just to give you a good idea of what it is. We have one mind, but we separate it into two minds or two functions. It's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind, or an objective mind, or a male mind, or a awakened mind, or a waking mind, if you will, is the one that makes all the decisions. It's a practical mind. Now, the way the conscious mind makes decision is totally based on experiences, education, and what you see through your sensory organs, your eyes, nose, ears, and what you feel and everything. Now, when you see things, you make a judgment about certain things. When you make a judgment, like say you said, when you met me, you made an observation and you told yourself something, and it went back into your subconscious mind. So what happens is everything that your subconscious mind thinks and believes it to be true, that is very important, believing it to be true. If it was just a passing thought, or you saw something and you didn't even register it, then it won't go on your subconscious mind. You see so many cars when you're driving, none of those cars will go in your subconscious mind. But if you see a very, very beautiful car, you'll definitely notice it and say, hey, I love this car. And it goes on your subconscious mind. Similarly, any thought that you believe to be true, doesn't matter if it is right or wrong, but if you believe it is true, it will be impressed on your subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind, which is a subjective mind or a female mind, or sleeping mind, if you will, is a little subdued part. It works, or it perceives intuitions. It works on intuitions, whereas the conscious mind works on practical thinking and everything. Okay, so you get it two different parts of the objective mind, the subjective mind, or the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is very active during the daytime when we are awake, and there's the awakened mind. And the subjective mind is highly active when we go to sleep in the absence of the conscious mind taking over. That's when the subjective mind is highly active. And that's the time when whatever you tell yourself to your subjective mind, it is written in stone. If you keep telling yourself something over and over again, it becomes a part of your subconscious. Now, the law of subconscious mind is the law of belief. Whatever you believe is true, is, like I said, is what happens. If your thoughts, the beliefs are your thoughts. The beliefs are your thoughts. So if you think good thoughts, you will attract good thoughts. If you think bad thoughts, you will attract bad things, evil things, whatever. So basically, there's a direct connection between what you think and what you attract. For example, if you, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to stop and use this as a really good teaching moment. It's like anyone who's listening, like think of a couple people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't even have to do this reflection on yourself, but think of a couple people in your life who have really great things going for them and then really bad things going for them. Yes. And think about, like, what are some of the conversations you had with these people? Like, their reality and their circumstances have been attracted to them by their belief system. Like, you know, if you meet someone and they think they have a gray cloud over their head and everything's poor me and bad me, like they're going to start attracting those types of thoughts and outcomes and situations. And it's just going to be this vicious cycle. And you meet people who are like always in a good mood and they keep getting promoted and they have all these good things happen. It's because they've either they were blessed with amazing parents that taught them that, or they had to learn from themselves that, like, you know, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so I just wanted to just take that moment and just help everyone do a little quick reflection on, like, let's see some real examples of people in your lives. I bet everyone can think of that contrast in their
exactly. And you said it so well. You put together the way I wanted to, and that's the absolute truth about it. So exactly, if you say, I can't afford this, then the subconscious will make sure that you can't afford it. Things will happen that will take away your money. And even if you have some, it will be gone. And then you really won't be able to afford it. And then you go back and tell yourself, see, I knew I couldn't afford it. But little did they know that it is only because it started from I can't afford it in the first place. If it weren't there, they would have been able to afford it. So the first rule is never think negative. Always, even if it is, yeah.
Did you watch the interview with Karen Williamson, the author of the Ageless book?
No, I did not. I missed it.
Last weekend, I interviewed Karen, and she had it on her heart to create this photo book of women over 50, and to show how beautiful that these women can still be in their prime. And she had the dream, and she said, Lord, if you want me to have this, like, you have to provide a way for me to fund this book. She won the lottery, $100,000. So she had no money, but she was like, I'll do this, but you have to show me the way. Like, she was just willing to move forward, and she actually won $100,000 lottery to make it happen. And, like, I think that's another story of the power of the subconscious mind.
Absolutely. And that reminds me, in one of your videos, you showed a check pasted on your wall behind your bed, and you said, this is the amount I'm going to deposit. Yeah. Something like that, right? So that's, again, going to say that you are using your power of subconscious mind to get that amount. Yeah. And you are attracting it because you're thinking about it. You have even made a physical thing, like writing a check.
Yeah.
So those are the things. It is so the power of subconscious mind, what you tell yourself, what you put out, thoughts have kinetic energy and they can travel. So so the best thing I can tell you is always be mindful of your thoughts. Think positive thoughts. Your human beings will get so many different kinds of thoughts, positive, negative, and anything in between. But then it is up to us to be very mindful of what our thoughts are every second of every time. And try to remove the negative thoughts. If you can't actually become too positive about that particular situation, what you do is you come to neutral ground. That way, at least you're not thinking negative and not attracting negative things. If you keep saying, I'm in pain, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to walk, you'll definitely never walk. So these are the kind of examples I wanted to talk about. Say, for example, if you have heel pain, okay, if your heels are hurting really bad and you can't walk, instead of focusing on the pain part, you pray with the visual image in your mind. Okay, so visualization is a very imperative part and very integral part of how the subconscious manifests, because whatever you imagine, visualize is what is going to happen. So be very careful and be very, very particular in what you're visualizing as the step of getting whatever you want. So you say, hey, I pray that I'm not in pain, but that's it. The subconscious doesn't understand the difference between not and am. Right. It just understands pain. So it thinks that you want pain and it will give you more pain. So instead of doing no pain, put it in affirmative sentences. Always affirmative. You say, I see myself dancing. So what are the outcomes that you want if your heel was not hurting? Focus on that. I love walking. I love dancing. I see myself dancing. I see myself walking and running and jogging. Those are the kind of things you tell yourself to your subconscious mind. And while you're praying, these are called scientific prayers. Prayers with visual imagination and visualizing yourself. Those are called scientific prayers. And that's what you do to impress your desires on your subconscious mind. And say it as many times as you can, but until your subconscious accepts it to be true. Okay. So, and then it will immediately start working and start creating circumstances, situations around you. Nothing is magical over here. Nothing is magical. It is not that, oh, my heel will stop hurting tomorrow. No, it won't happen that way. Circumstances will be created, situations will change, things that were not available to you before will be available to you. For example, for your heel pain, you immediately, something will happen with your current doctor that has been treating you, and you will change your doctors, go to this other doctor, and they will prescribe a whole new treatment plan, and voila, you are walking, dancing, and jogging with the same heel that you thought you will never be able to do. Yeah. So that's how it works. So be very careful when you express a desire. And one thing, Jenna, I have understood and learned from my personal experiences is the subconscious will get you what you want by hook or by crook. It doesn't understand positive ways or negative ways. I have learned that I desired something really nice, some really nice things, but I did get it, but there were things that went wrong. Some negative situations happened for me to acquire what I wanted. But I told myself, this is not how I wanted. Yeah. So from that experience, I taught myself to say, everything happens with divine intervention. Now, in my subconscious, when I say divine, I equate it to a superpower, which will never let anything go wrong. which will never let anything go wrong. And that's what my belief is. So
Yeah.
when I say divine intervention, my subconscious knows already that everything will go well without hurting anybody or hurting anyone or without creating a negative situation.
The greater
So,
good for all involved.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that's how it works.
So I'm going to put you on the spot and I'm going to ask you a question. And like, if you could see yourself, or you since you can see yourself speaking on the stage. And if you had just a few minutes to finish your talk and motivate the audience, what message would you want to leave everyone?
Yes, I have a perfect one. So, so the subconscious mind has this resource. Every human being is born with it. Everybody has in themselves. I have it, you have it, and you all have it, whoever is watching me, or everybody, every human being has it in themselves. We have this power of wisdom, infinite intelligence, and there's a huge resource within us. Now it is up to us to tap into it and utilize it. You can't just utilize it just like that. You have to learn the principles of subconscious mind, how it works, how it manifests. Otherwise, you may get wrong results or the results that you never desired. So you have to know exactly what to say, how to say, when to say. And so what I'm going to tell my audience in those 5 minutes is you have that resource within yourself. All you have to do is tap into it. Ask your subconscious for guidance. It is free, free. So why not use it?
Yes.
Just learn how to use it and you'll get better health, happiness, better wealth, more vacations, and more power. Everything that you want under the sun, anything and everything you want is there. But you have to know how to use it, and use it. First of all, use it. Do not doubt it. If you doubt it for a second that if this works or not, definitely doesn't work. You can't be wishy-washy about this. You have to have faith, be open, be receptive to the idea that this works, and then put it to work. And affirm every evening when your subconscious is active, the most active towards the nighttime, just before going to sleep. Keep a few minutes aside and affirm in a prayer format whatever you want and repeat it 2 or 3 times at least, or say 2 or 4 times at that time every night at the same time.
Write it on your wall, write it on your mirror, look at it every single day.
Yes, I write it on my phone. I have it on my phone. I read it to myself because I want to say the same thing over and over again and have my subconscious accept it so it can start working and bring things to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I love it. Gosh, so much great information that you've shared today. And I'm sure that we could talk about this all night long. And
yes.
I don't think I would ever get tired. But because we want to honor our audience and their time, how can people connect with you and learn a little bit more?
They can either connect with me through your platform and just send me a message and I can get in touch with them. Or they can send me an email at bhbhuta at gmail.com. Sorry, I haven't created my website or anything yet. I'm processing it. Yeah.
It's in the subconscious.
It's in the works. Yes, it's in the works.
Well, that's well, we'll make sure that we'll add your email down below. And you also have a really great gift to offer someone. So tell us a little bit about the giveaway that you wanted to contribute today.
Sure. So I am offering an hour worth of session with me. If you have anything that you desire, you have this ardent desire that you need to be fulfilled, please let me know. And I will help you through it. I will talk to you, figure out what your needs are, and then I will guide you through how to use it and how to attain your dreams by using the power of subconscious mind.
And maybe even show that person how they're getting in their own way.
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely do that. Yes.
Like sometimes that coaching session really helps when we have someone's outside perspective, how we're actually messing this up. Like,
Mhm.
because we're so up here, like so many of us are so up here. And when we let go of what's going on up here and letting go of the way we think it needs to be,
Yes,
that's when we can like tap into that subconscious power that is there waiting for us.
exactly.
Barbie,
Thank
I
you.
loved everything you said. We will select the winner for your coaching session on tomorrow's interview. So today's interview, I'm going to have you help me pick a number between 2 and 101 for
Wow.
the winner of today's giveaway.
Okay, let's say 48.
48.
Mm-hmm.
That is Heather Johnson. All right, Miss Heather Johnson, we will connect you. What day is it today? Today's
Today's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yesterday was Wednesday. Yesterday, I talked to Kelly Watts, and
Yes.
she's the owner of Savor Patisserie. They
Mm-hmm.
make macarons, and she's going to give away Heather a 10-pack of macarons in any flavor. So,
Oh, wonderful.
Barbie, is there anything else you want to add before we call it a night?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me. And thank you all, whoever is on Facebook, I can't see, but whoever has already logged in, I really appreciate your support. And I look forward with wants to learn more about the power of subconscious mind. And I want to heartily thank all the people who have been instrumental in my growth. And uh, that's
Yeah.
all I have to say. And thank you. And I look forward to meeting with you again and talk about this. And I want to talk about more about what you do again when we meet in the next meeting.
I can't wait.
It's
All right,
me.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the 21 Day Mend Yourself Well Summit. Have a great night.